Here's how to format your argument essay using Microsoft Word. So don't forget that you have lots of helpful tips on the instructions page. You actually have sample essays that I've got signed permission to show you, and they're a great way to look at what is it physically supposed to look like. And don't forget that that hanging indent that you learned how to do in the annotated bibliography is only used in the works cited page or pages that are at the end. It's not used in the rest of the essay. So in addition, there's also a visual guide way at the bottom that says here's how it should look, and you can kind of just look through what does she, oh, it's 1 inch from the top, okay, indent ½ inch over, international format. So all of that kind of stuff is labeled there. So let's go ahead and get started. I notice when I open up a new document with Microsoft, it just calls it document 1, which is kind of weird. I don't want to have a bunch of documents called document 1 because I'm not going to know what I'm working on. So I'm going to call mine ARG essay number 1. You can call it whatever you like. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my first and last names. The next thing I'm going to do is put my instructor's name. We do use Professor blah blah. You don't have to call me that if you don't want to. I am going to put either English 110. If I don't like that, I can put composition and the number 1. I like ENGL. So what we don't want to do is kind of go in between and just kind of do a in-between weirdness because I'm like, I don't know what that is. So what we're going to do is do it the way it occurs in the catalog. Let's just leave it like that. We can use composition 1 if we want. Then we're going to put the date in this kind of international format. And we're going to spell out January, and I forget it's 2026. I'm going to hit enter just once, and then I'm going to leave room for a title. I'm going to hit enter just once more, and now I'm ready to hit the tab key, and that should be ½ inch over. Now some people don't like the tab key, so they'll actually space 5 spaces over. That's okay, whatever you prefer. The first thing I'm going to do is recheck to make sure everything's double spaced. I'm going to go over here to these 3 dots. I'm on the home page, and whoop, I might actually have to go to layout. There we go, layout, that's what I'm looking for. So under the layout page, under paragraph options, I want to make sure instead of having 8-point space after, I want that to be at 0. I could have typed it in. And now I'm going to say double. I don't have to worry about the rest of these. I'm going to hit OK. So now it's at double space throughout the whole document. While I'm on the word title, I can either select it or just sort of rest my cursor somewhere in there. And boom, I'm going to need to actually put it right in the middle. So I'm going to go to the home page and go up here to text alignment. If I ever get kind of like I don't know what I'm clicking on, I can always go up here and search for things like center the title or line spacing options, and it will show me how to do it. So I'm going to click over here to that line center, and my title is there. The only thing I need to do now is add that page numbering feature. Now remember, we never use the header feature for anything in Modern Language Association for College. So now I'm going to go up to insert again. I'm going to skip the header footer. I'm going to go to page numbers. I'm going to pick the simple upper right hand side page number. When I click on that, it happened to have put it in Times New Roman because I've been working on Microsoft Word for a while today, but if it doesn't, I can always fix that. I'm going to put my cursor before there. Don't worry that it suddenly becomes a page number formatting little icon. Don't worry about that. I'm just going to pretend I'm a student and put my last name. When I click off of it, I want to make sure that these are both in Times or Times New Roman. So I'm going to double click again and just make sure that if I highlight both of those, it comes up as Times New Roman, 12 points, and that's looking pretty good. So that's as simple as it is. Of course, I'm making it look kind of simple to format my argument essay in Microsoft Word. Thanks.